Hey guys, welcome back to Mellyns. So today we're going to be doing a get ready with me, but I have a few new products to try for you, so it's going to be kind of like a first impressions. I have like 5 or 6 new products, and then the rest are kind of products that I already know and love. I do already have my brows on, which is why my face might look a little weird, because I did not have a new brow product, and it takes me so long to do my brows because I am so bad at it. So I decided to just get that out of the way. But we're just going to dive right in, and the first product that I'm going to use is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. This is something I've been loving recently, you guys know that, so I'm just going to quickly put this on my face to prime. Okay, so the foundation that I'm going to be using today is a new product to me. This is the Bareminerals Fresh Face Liquid Foundation. And this is the whole like made to fit program thing that they have. So this actually is like a customized color for me. They have an app that you can download that you can go and like scan your wrist and your face and all these different places, and then it will come up with a custom color. So yeah, we're gonna try this out today and see if it actually works. I think this is supposed to be like a lightweight foundation. It's not supposed to be like super full coverage, which is what I normally like to go for, hence the fresh faced. So yeah, we're gonna test this out. It also has my name on it. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I think that's super cool, super cute. So I'm just gonna pump out 2 pumps on my hand. I'm not really sure how much of, whoa. Okay, so that's what it looks like. It's kind of almost moussey, which I wasn't really expecting. It's a little bit thicker than I thought it was going to be. So let's see how this looks. It's not a bad color match. It might be a tad bit too light, but we will see. So I'm going to be using the Love is the Foundation brush from Ulta and It Cosmetics. This was a collab brush that they did during October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So I'm just going to apply this foundation with this brush. It is definitely very lightweight on the skin. I mean, it's not like crazy coverage, but it is like evening my skin tone out. Let me get my handheld mirror up. It's definitely very, very dewy, as you can see. It kind of just like sinks right into the skin and doesn't really look like I'm wearing much makeup at all on my face, which if you know me, that's the kind of look that I like to go for. The color actually looks pretty good. I thought it was going to be a little bit too neutral on me because my skin's been leaning more towards the yellow side recently. I don't know why. When I get paler, I tend to lean more towards the yellow side of the spectrum, but then when I have a bit of a tan, I lean more towards the neutral, like once I have some color on my face. It's very strange, I don't know, but so far this color seems to be a pretty good match. It's super dewy. My skin is also getting really red because it is so hot in here, but just ignore that. Look at how red my forehead is. It's like 1,000,000 degrees in my room right now. So I zoomed you guys in a little bit so that you could see my skin. You can definitely tell that it's not full coverage. You can still see it with some redness and some spots, and it's definitely very, very dewy. So you can see more spots. So I definitely think this is like a very fresh face look. It's not super heavy on the skin. It sunk in pretty well. Like, it doesn't look like I'm wearing tons of foundation. It's slightly tacky, so I probably will have to set it down, but so far I actually really like it. I really like the formula and how it's looking on my skin. I will say that on my hand it is starting to oxidize a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that. When I first pumped this out on my hand, it was like my skin color, like it blended in really nice, but now it's like darkened a little bit. So we'll see how that goes on my face. But I'm gonna zoom you guys back out and we will continue on with the makeup. So I have a new concealer to try out today, and this is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Concealer. This was supposed to be a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape, which I don't love the Tarte Shape Tape, to be honest. It's a little bit too heavy for my skin, but we're gonna see how this goes. Sorry, there's like some weird stuff going out on the street. I got this in the color C7. They didn't have any testers out at my Ulta, so I'm just gonna hope that this is the right color. Why can't I? Oh, there it goes. Holy crap, that's a huge applicator. Okay, so I'm gonna swatch this on my hand first. Might be a little dark. So this is the shade. It might be a little bit dark for me right now. But yeah, we're just gonna go. My face is like looking like kind of red and weird. I don't know what's happening right now. I don't know if it's that foundation or what, but I'm gonna start off by applying like a tiny bit of this because I have no idea. Oh yeah, I should have gotten a lighter color. Alright, let's see how this does blended out. I think I definitely should have gotten like a shade or two lighter, but I'm not going to judge it based off that just yet. We'll see what happens when we blend it. I definitely think this will be a good color match for me in the summer, like when I'm a little bit tanner. So far it's blending out pretty nicely. It's definitely pretty full coverage, I would say. It's not really like clinging in any places. I do have some dryness on my cheeks right now, but it didn't really like cling, so that's good. It's definitely covering up my redness. It's not like sinking into my lines at all yet. Which the Tarte Shape Tape, like when I immediately put it on, like it starts to crease on me. I don't know what it is. So covered up that spot decently. I mean, that spot's hard because it's so raised, but so it looks pretty good under the eye so far. It's not creasing or anything. It doesn't look dry and cakey like the Tarte Shape Tape does on me. So far I'm actually really liking this. The color's actually a pretty good match, I think. When I first put it on, I was like, oh, this looks dark. But once it's blended out, it actually matches my skin tone really well, which I like. Alright, so that's it all blended. It is pretty full coverage. You can still see some of my spots, the bigger ones, peeking through, but honestly, when I have spots like that, I don't go crazy covering them because I don't want to like clog them up any more than they already are. But it definitely did cover all of my redness on my cheeks, which is nice. It doesn't seem to be settling too badly yet. It still looks like pretty dewy, my skin, which I like as well. So far I'm really enjoying this. I'm going to zoom you guys in again so you can see my under eyes. Okay, so this is what my under eyes look like. It's not creasing yet. It doesn't look dry and cakey. That's a plus. It still looks pretty dewy and fresh. So yeah, it's going pretty well so far. So now I'm going to set my face with the Glossier Water. This is a relatively newer product to me, but I have used it before, so it's not really that new. But I will just talk about it a little bit. I do really like this powder. It's super lightweight and it doesn't like cling in any of my dry patches or anything. It looks very natural on the skin. So I've been really enjoying this. Lyn actually gave this to me because the powder was a little bit too dark for her. That's like one thing. They don't have a great shade range in this product. There's like 3 shades. It's like light, medium, dark, and then deep, I think. But it is a nice powder if you can use one of those 3 shades. So I'm just really setting my under eyes and then my T-zone and where it creases around my mouth. I'm not going to set my cheeks or anything. I normally don't do that, and I want to see, although it's pretty tacky. Alright, I'll set it a little bit. I normally don't set the rest of my face because it can make my skin look really dry, but this foundation feels super tacky and super wet still. So I'm just going to dust a little bit of powder on the rest of my face. But it's still looking pretty dewy, so I like that. But now we're going to move on to bronzer and contour. And my contour is not a new product. This is the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder in Light. I'm just going to contour this really quickly. But the bronzer that I'm going to use is actually new to me. So the bronzer I'm using today is the Betty Luminizer. So technically this is like a highlighter, but it is like pretty deep. So I actually I'm gonna use it as a bronzer to kind of warm my face a little bit. I swatched it and it looked really pretty, so I'm excited to give it a try. So that is what it looks like on my skin. It's definitely gonna give a very nice like luminous glow to the skin, while still like warming up the outsides of my face. Sorry, I'm trying to wipe all my swatches off without getting them on my clothing. For some reason I really struggle. So this is the product that I'm going to be using to bronze today, and I'm just going to take my Makeup Forever little brush. I can never remember what this is called. It's the 122 Straight and Wavy. I really like this brush for bronzer, or really any like cheek product that I'm going to be using. It just blends really nicely. So this is definitely very pigmented, very luminous. I might have gone a little bit too crazy on this side of my face. But you know, that's okay. Live and learn. I am someone who really enjoys bronzer. So sometimes I can go a little bit too crazy with it. So if you ever see that, just be like, whoa, girl, calm down. But this is really pretty. I love the finish on my cheeks. I think it blends in really nicely. It just gives this very nice like bronzed glow. This will definitely be a really good product during the summer when I have a little bit of a tan and I don't want to do too much to my skin. I just want to like look a little glowy. But it is a really pretty shade. I think it's perfect for like warming up the skin. I actually really like that. It was really soft. It blended really easily once I didn't use too much. But I do really like this. It reminds me a lot of my Hourglass bronzer that I have. I can't remember what shade I have, but this powder really reminded me of that because it has like that luminous finish to it. But yeah, so I really liked that as well. So far this is going surprisingly well. Sometimes the first impressions videos, because I'm not a professional, when I'm trying new products sometimes it throws me off and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. But we're gonna move on. The next product that I'm gonna be using is this Tarte blush in Seduce. This is also a new product to me. I have never tried these Tarte blushes before, so we're gonna give it a try. I'm gonna swatch it first. I have heard like really amazing things about these, but you know me, I'm not really a blush person, so I've just never tried them. But it's a very like neutrally pink shade, so I think it's gonna go really well with this look I'm trying to create, or creating on the fly. I'm going to use, where is it? My Luxie, this is the Pro Precision Tapered Brush. I really like this for blush because it's so soft, like it's like a foolproof way to apply your blush. So let's see how this goes. These are very pigmented. All right. It is a really pretty shade. I really, I think it looks good on my skin tone, but I went a little crazy with it again. But I do really like this. This is really nice. I just was not expecting it to be that pigmented. I feel like it still looks a little crazy, but we're just gonna go with it. It's all about learning new things. I also feel like this foundation is still super tacky, so it's making powders kind of sit weird on my skin. I definitely feel like next time I use it, I'm gonna have to set it a little bit more than I did with the Wilder or a different powder, because my powders are definitely getting a little bit patchy in places. You can definitely tell on this side it looks patchier than over here. So that's not my favorite, but we're just gonna keep chugging along. So the next new product that I'm going to try out for you guys is this Wet n Wild Not a Basic Peach palette. And this is some of their new palettes. I love Wet n Wild eyeshadows. They're some of my favorite from the drugstore. So when I saw that they repackaged and came out with some new palettes, I knew I had to have them. I was looking for the one that is almost identical or dupe for the Modern Renaissance palette, but it was sold out online. It was sold out in my Ulta. It was sold out at Target. So I picked up this one as instead, but I actually really like these colors in here. So we're going to be testing this out today if I can ever get the sticker off. It's not looking likely at the moment. Oh, finally, we got it. This is what it looks like. I'm really excited to try this out. Now that I'm looking at it though, there isn't really like a transition color, so I guess these shades say transition, but that's like really dark. So we're just gonna go with it. So I'm gonna take this fluffy Morphe brush. This is the M504, and I'm going to dip it in this peachy orange shade first, right here, and kind of run that in my crease. Hopefully, we shall see. I might mix it with a little bit of this top transition shade as well, just to kind of soften that pigment a little. All right, let's see how this goes. Oh yeah, that's orange. All right. So it's a little bit more orange than I thought it was going to be, but I feel like it doesn't look horrible. It actually looks pretty good. They're actually super pigmented. Like I said, I love Wet n Wild eyeshadows. I've tried a bunch of different their like different palettes. They have like the all natural palettes and the little like quad palettes. And I have one of these palettes in like the old packaging. The what is it called? Can't remember. But what am I saying? And I've always really liked their formulas. I think they're really some of the best at the drugstore for how affordable they are. So I'm really, really happy that these are the same formula as their past ones, and they're still amazing. And the packaging is so much better too. Alright, so that's the first shade down. I think I'm going to deepen it up a little bit with this shade here. And I'm going to take a smaller like blending brush. This is the Morphe E22. And I'm actually going to pack that on the outer half of my lid as well. And this is that transition shade down at the bottom. Here's hoping that this turns out good. There is a little bit of fallout with these shades, but they're really pigmented, so I'm not mad at it. They're super easy to blend too, so I'm okay that there's a little bit of fallout. So I'm just going to take that fluffy brush again and kind of blend out these edges. So that is what it looks like so far. These shades are really, really nice. Damn, now I have to go back and buy the two other palettes. So like I said, there is some fallout here, but honestly, that's not a deal breaker for me. I don't mind that. I think the shades are really amazing, so I'm throwing brushes. But the shade is really pigmented, it's still easy to blend, and has a tiny bit of fallout. Like, the fallout's not gonna be a deal breaker for me. I don't mind that as long as they are easy to use. So I'm just going to take this really deep shade here and run that on my lash line as like kind of an eyeliner, just to define the lashes so that when I'm going to put mascara on, they look a little bit more full. Oh, and I'm just taking this Chanel 3 brush. I know, bougie, but it's my favorite pencil brush. I will say, even though there's fallout in the palette, there isn't a lot of fallout, or really any fallout, underneath my eyes at all, so that's a huge plus. Okay, so this is the look so far. I think the last thing that I'm going to do is take one of these shimmer shades and pop it on my lid. And I can't decide if I want to do this like peachy shade or this golden shade. I think I'm going to go for the peachy one though. And I'm just going to use my finger for this. I love using my fingers with like shimmer shades. I feel like they just apply better. So I'm just going to take my middle finger. Ooh, they're super creamy. I was not expecting that. So this is what it looks like on my finger. Super pigmented. It's like kind of almost like duochrome-y, like it shifts to gold. So that is what it looks like. I'm noticing over here that my little tiny flick with my dark shadow is like all over the place. Like, it's super thick. This side went really well, but this side, that's totally user error. That was just me like this side of my eye or this side of my face is always easier because I'm left-handed. So that's my fault, but I do really like these shadows so far. I think the last thing I'm going to do is take this really light shade here and highlight the inner corners and my brow bone with it. So I'm going to be taking this Luxie 249 brush. This is like a double-ended, and I'm taking like the shader side. I'm just going to dip my brush in there and highlight my brow bone. Okay, so I felt like this lighter shade wasn't as pigmented and blendable as some of the other shades. There's definitely a lot more fallout. Definitely when I was putting it in my inner corner, I was like, whoa, there's like powder getting in my eye. So it wasn't as good as some of the darker shades, but it still looks pretty. You can't really see it on my brow bones at all. But on the inner corner, it did give a little bit of a glow. So that was okay. But the rest of the shades I really, really liked. I think the look came out pretty well. Yeah, I really have to get my hands on these other palettes. The shades are super pigmented. They're easy to blend. I'm actually really, really happy with how this came out. Look at that. I think this is like the best first impressions video ever. I've really liked everything so far. So I'm just going to go curl my eyelashes and put some mascara on, and then when I come back we will do highlight and lip and setting spray, and then yeah, that's it. Okay, so mascara is on. I'm still really loving this eyeshadow. I think it looks so good, and the shades were so pigmented. I cannot believe this. This is amazing. But now we're going to go in with highlight, and I'm using the Essence Pure Nude Highlight. I actually rediscovered my love for this recently. It's just like a very natural glow, but I think because my skin is already pretty glowy from the foundation, I'm just going to use this product. I think this is a great natural sheen on the skin. It's so beautiful, and I think this product's only like $3.99. Like, oh, it's one of my favorites. You cannot go wrong. Alright, so that's it for highlight. And the last new product I'm going to try out for you guys is this Clinique Lippy in Black Honey. I have been wanting to try this for so long, and it was always sold out at my Sephora. I don't really know if they're like, I don't know why. But they actually had it as a 100-point perk, so I was like, I have to pick this up and try it out. I've been really into like lightweight lips or stains. I'm sure you guys saw last week's blog post about that. So I was really excited to see this, and I've heard so many good things about it, so I'm finally trying it out, and I am so excited. So here we go. So here is the lippy on. I do really like it. It's definitely more of like a stain or like a blotted lipstick. It actually reminds me a lot of the Glossier lipsticks. It's a little bit more moisturizing. It's not as matte, but the like color payoff reminds me a lot of those. I actually really like this. I think it's a very nice lightweight lip. So, ooh. So that will be getting added into my collection over on my desk. But I'm just going to spray some setting spray on my face quickly, and this is the Morphe Prep and Set. I've just been trying to use this up because it's like almost gone, so. I like this spray, but I have a ton of setting sprays, so I really need to start like using them and declutter some of them eventually. But yeah, so this is the finished look. So far, I really like all these products. I think the eyeshadow palette was incredible. The concealer actually turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to. And I do like the foundation. I was a little surprised about that. I think the color actually came out really well. I'm actually shocked. And the finish is very nice. It's very lightweight, which is what I look for in a foundation. So yeah, so far everything is going very well. I'm going to check back in with you guys in a few hours to show you how everything wore throughout the day. The foundation, the concealer mostly. I'm sure the eyeshadow will be fine. But it's around 3:30ish right now. So I'll probably check in around 8 o'clock. Or 8:30, so it'll have been 5 hours. But yeah, so I will see you guys when I check in, and hopefully this stuff wears good throughout the day. So I'll see you guys later. Hey guys, so I'm back. It's been about 5-ish hours, and this is how everything looks. I'm currently in my new bathroom too. The foundation sat really well on my skin. I actually really like how it still looks. You can see some texture right here, but other than that, it looks pretty good. The concealer hardly creased. It did crease like a little bit very close to like under my eye. I don't know if you guys can really see that, but it was like the tiniest bit, and it didn't crease all around my mouth. So I really like the concealer and the foundation. I'm like out of breath from running up the stairs. That's so sad. And the eyeshadow still looks really good. It did like wear off a little bit on the outer corner, but I also think like that might have been from like me touching it. Sometimes I have these moments where like I touch my eyes and I'm like, I'm wearing makeup. But overall I think everything looks really good. It covered, the concealer definitely covered all of my spots throughout the day, although this one's kind of worn off. But I think it's the same thing, like I touch it. I don't know why. I have this like tendency to just do that. But yeah, so I'm really happy with how everything turned out. I really like these products. I definitely have to go back and get the other eyeshadow palette. They were so amazing and I just need them all. And I really like the foundation. So yeah, those are my final thoughts on these products. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and definitely let me know if there are any products out now that you guys would like me to test, do a review on, do like a wear test on. Yeah, so let me know about that in the comments, but I will see you in our next video. Bye guys.